We are live. This is Federal Prison Talk. A couple minutes late. Hey, man, what can I tell you, man? Um, don't be late to prison. But
Yeah, definitely,
anyway,
man. You
hey, I
definitely.
got a guy guys. This is Thomas, and I've talked to him over. He's been on pretrial like forever, right? I guess
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, man. It's
he
been.
got sentenced to a year and a day, man. And we've had discussions, and I always said, "Stop. Let's talk about it on the show so that
Mm.
it's real for the first time." Thomas, tell everybody what's going on with you.
Hey, man. Well, for the most part, man. Yesterday, the 18th, man, I got sentenced. Or what should we start from the beginning, or what do you think? What do you think?
Well, let's just start from the beginning. So, like, when did you first contact me? Well, that even before that, forget me. It's all
Yeah,
about you.
yeah. I
But like,
think, man, we talked, man. Golly, I was watching one of your lives on YouTube, man, and I think we text, man. It was probably like I was a truck driver, man. I had shot you a text. It was like 5 in the morning or something, and because I was
did I
driving.
answer? Did I
Yeah.
answer?
Well, no, you said, "Hey, hold on one second." Then you called me. He's
Ah,
like, "Hey, man, what's up?" I was like, "Oh shit!" It's kind of caught me off guard because usually I was just gonna text, and when someone wakes up, they just kind of see the text and
I know how it
go
is.
from
So you
there.
search on YouTube, you go, "Oh, here's this guy. I'm going to watch his show. I'm on
Mhm.
pretrial," and you call him, and damn, the guy answered. What the fuck, right? I get
Yeah,
it,
man.
man. I
You
get
never.
it.
Some of those other people out there don't answer.
Yeah,
That.
we won't mention no names, Justin Pepperoni
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Santos, Mister.
Oh
I
my
did
God,
30 years in a
man.
penitentiary. I can help you for 30,000. Yeah, no, we won't.
Man, there's nothing for $30,000 they can do for you that a public defender can't for free. There's
Yeah, and
nothing really.
thank you. I always tell people, man,
Nothing.
save your money. Don't spend it on a hired lawyer. It's this
Man, you
ain't
gotta
OJ Simpson. If
what you gotta
OJ Simpson, it's state trial, yes, hire
yeah,
a dream team.
yeah.
Federals, no.
No, man, you gotta think about it, man. When I was in sentencing yesterday, some of the other public defenders had been prosecutors in the same district for like 20 years. And now they're on the decline, getting ready to retire. So they're still want they're it's all who man. Like it's not anything that judge and that prosecutor and that defense counsel, man, they're in there every day. You're just a commodity coming through here. They have to work with each other every day, so they're cohesive, man, in these sentences and these different things. And so, if you got a good lawyer and they have a, a good working relationship with a judge or a prosecutor, man, you get a more favorable outcome, man. And that's just kind of how it plays out, man. Don't spend your money on I wouldn't advise anybody to spend any money on an attorney, man, with any kind of federal case, because as soon as you get a target letter, you're entitled to a public defender because you are
See,
a
that's
target in a
you schooled me. I did not know a target letter entitles because I
yeah,
went stupid. Me, my house
yeah,
got raided. I went and I had some money. I paid $5,000 for a lawyer just to answer my questions. I just got raided.
yeah,
What do I do? And
yeah,
and $5,000. She told me I can't talk to you till you pay me. Right. So she's
yeah,
sitting there, and at the same time, the bank was like deleting my bank. The bank had been audited. They're trying all these cards, none are working. The last one worked, and damn, I wish I could have kept that $5,000. I was broke after I talked to her. You
yeah.
know,
And there's nothing, man. Like, yeah, most definitely, man. These people, and most time, man, that's just like, that's the fear and the anxiety and the thing that most people don't understand. That if you get a target letter, you're probably already convicted because they don't waste time. If you get a target letter, they've already done everything they want to do. They just doing their due diligence because this is a part of the process.
and
If
like
you get
I
a
said, in so many videos in civics class, they didn't cover this indictment. I thought I got a right to face my accuser, a jury
yeah,
of my peers. I even get a choice in picking a jury.
yeah, you can
All
do
right,
that,
who the hell is
man.
a grand jury? I heard it's 18 people. They're on a payroll. They meet in secret. I'm not invited. I can't fight my
Yeah,
case. I don't
oh,
know who shows up. And on just suspicion, a hunch, reasonable doubt, everything that's supposed to be like,
excuse me.
you're innocent unless you got to be proven by beyond a reasonable doubt. But not in the feds. It's all the opposite, right? And then they finally tell you, hey, guess what? You're guilty. We had a secret meeting. You can come. We'll
Yeah,
give you a chance to. You can come to court and prove your innocence. Yeah,
yeah, it's
we got a
crazy.
98 something percentage rate. And even if you win, I did time with guys who won 4 times. I go,
They'll
what are
just
you
come
doing
with
here?
something else.
The
They'll
fifth
just
time
come
they
with
got
something
me,
else.
they don't give up. You
Yeah.
know,
If you beat them, then it's if you beat
they're pissed.
US, you beat a US USA a US US attorney. Now that's on their record, and like, okay, so now they got to make it twofold. And so, like, if you got a wire fraud case, okay, cool, you beat them on the wire fraud case,
I had the
okay,
wire fraud. That's like so. Yeah,
you beat them on the wire fraud, okay, well, let's do tax evasion, or let's,
yeah,
if you beat them
yeah.
on the
You know
tax
those
evasion, okay,
19
well,
charges that we dropped? We
yeah,
didn't drop
yeah,
them. We have
no,
them
we just
here.
yeah. And they can try you on each one of those 19. They can just keep going. They have an unlimited budget, man. So how can you beat somebody? Because you can get a public defender, but I mean, judges are paying for the public defender. Judges are paying for the all these other different things in your case, and so, I mean, you just kind of. I mean, you're not wasting their money, man. You're just using resources to where you can just kind of like, hey, what's the best possible
They
outcome?
want to win, and Trump's got what 39 felony. I mean, they don't.
34, I think
I don't care
34.
even if you hate Trump, they keep coming back at the guy, and he won president. They still keep coming. They don't give a
Yeah,
fuck. You know,
that's the craziest thing ever, man. Like,
you can hate
um,
the man, but damn, boy. I mean, I don't have the strength that Trump had to it still run for president and then win overwhelming. Even
well,
if you
that was
hate
the
the
only
guy,
that was
you got to
so
give him
like
some credit, man.
I
You
definitely
know?
believe that was his only out to win the presidency. Had he not win the presidency, he would have, you know, he probably would have been. I mean, he would have still been in court, and somebody would have been trying to lock him up.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't
but
hate the man. I think he's the worst father you could ever be, or the worst husband. I think he's a decent father, the worst husband, but I kind of like what he's doing. How he says, "Well, fuck you, I'm going to fight you back." Now we need a guy like that. You could hate him all you want, but I mean, plus I got a year. I got home a year early because of him. But
yeah,
regardless of that, but look what they just keep coming at him and at him and at him and at him, and that's probably how you felt on a smaller level, right?
yeah, man. I mean, most definitely, man. Like, cause, some of these cases, man, like, I think, I got a target letter via FedEx, um,
Yeah, and
via,
I bet you think, oh, it's a scam, it's some spammer, some
yeah,
guy in Nigeria, he's playing with
yeah,
me, right,
yeah.
right, right,
That's why I was
yeah.
like, oh, well, I
You don't
looked at
even
it, I
know
was like,
it's
oh,
real.
yeah, spam. I got a target letter from the AUSA, man, for, hey, we need you to give all your records and everything in regards to this case, and
You're
send
just
it
waiting.
here.
And when you want my Cash App tag, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, come on, you don't
yeah,
even know it's real. I
yeah.
just, and when you find out it's real, what happens, Thomas?
Man, I mean, you kind of go into like, man, and they take their time, man. They're I mean,
Don't they?
they
Oh,
take their time, man. I was out my first interaction, man. I was out cutting the yard. It was November 20th, 2021. Out cutting the yard, man. Two people walk up, plain as day, t-shirt and some pants, like, hey, man, I need to talk to you about something. Like, not today. I was like, oh no,
yeah,
flash a
not
bat.
today, man.
Yeah, they flash a badge, and I'm like, oh shit. I was like, okay, well, can we go inside and sit down? No, we can sit outside on this trailer. So we sat outside for about 2-3 hours, man. They just kind of like, hey, man, we need to know what this, can you tell us about this? Can you tell us about your other things of the case and different
Why
stuff? I
would
was
I
like,
want to tell you? Who are you again?
yeah, that's like, oh well, we're just investigating something. I was like, oh, okay, well, cool, man. I mean, I think we talked for, sheesh, got to be an hour or two, and then they were just like, hey, man, where's the money at? I was like,
Yeah, at the end of the day, and on your
that's
pre-sentence
all it is.
report, the 39 pages on pre-sentence report, half of that's like, where's the money, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's it, man. Bank statements, where do you work? Who lives in the house with you? How much
Yeah,
do they
do you
make?
own
How
any
much?
stocks? Do you own any property? Does your wife own property? Does your son own
Yeah,
property? And they want to, does your dog own property?
yeah.
That
What?
pre-sentence
What?
report, like
Mhm.
some prison consultants will tell you how important that is. That paper is against you. That's not your friend. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
the only avenue, with it, man, is like, just kind of,
Yeah, you get your
'cause-
part. You can say, "Hey, I've done all this. Like, I've turned my life around. I ain't sentenced yet." Well, I'm gonna let you talk.
Mhm. Yeah, man, but it's a whole process, man, for the most part, man. you know, going through that. I mean, it took 2021 till February 25. You know, so
So
what?
what, you got 3 years, 4 years on pretrial?
Yeah. Well, no, man, I didn't get. I didn't.
Before that,
So
it was a year before you got indicted. Even
no, well,
that
yeah, I
counts.
didn't. Man, I didn't get. I didn't. Well, I didn't get indicted. I got charged by an
A
information.
target letter,
Yeah, I
which
got
is,
charged by via an information indictment.
so
So not
we're talking 4 or 5 years now of your life already gone, right?
yeah, yeah, man.
And nobody believes you're going to prison, right? You don't go to prison now. You're on probation already, right?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
many
that's what
times
they
do you
think.
hear that?
Yeah, yeah. That's what they think, man. But I mean, no, not really. Because I mean, no. I mean, at the end of the day, man, they want to cross their I's and dot their T's, and put another win in this column over here for, most of these guys. I think are just trying to. These attorneys, man, are just like, hey, man, what are the cases we can slam dunk and pad, the stats and move, you know, the next part of their career, man. Most of these guys want to go into the uh, want to. Most of these prosecutors, what I've seen, man, they're building a reputation, building a clientele, building a network of different attorneys and judges and stuff, and then they just flip over to the private sector and become defense attorneys.
So
Because all their
a lot
buddies.
of people don't know this about federal public defenders. In every district, what district were you in? 19, 10, 11, 12? Do you know?
The 19th district here in Kansas.
Is
Yeah.
that San Francisco? I think.
No. I'm in Kansas. So this is I think the ninth district. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'd have to look.
So in every district, there's one or two public defenders, period. There's a whole bunch of lawyers that they
Hmm.
use for third parties, that they will, subcontract out to, but there's one or two, maybe three in a New York City. But when you become a federal public defender, you're at the top. You have reached it. Okay. They work so hard to keep their job.
Hmm.
As you probably know,
Hmm.
compared to a state where state attorneys, they're willing and dealing, and public pretenders, they got 200 people on their caseload, all that.
And
Okay. and
hmm.
and, and that's all good bullshit, right? But in a federal public defender, they work as hard as they can,
Hmm.
but they have reached the prime. They're
Yeah,
happy with their
there's
position.
nothing. Being a defense attorney, I don't think there's a higher level you can go than that because you're practicing in the federal system. You're meeting all the people that are going to be either future, defense attorneys, and you're building a relationship with the top prosecutors in that district. And so,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
beyond that, they run for office or they become,
I
part
think
of
a
the
lot of them,
legislature or something like
eventually
that.
want to be.
But they've reached the top. They're happy, and they
Yep.
and they're glad to help you. They're glad to work. So I had a job as a bartender at Poplar. It was in San Mateo, California. It was called Popular Golf Course. It was a public golf course, but all the attorneys and public defenders and public pretenders and lawyers, they all met. And there's a golf cart that goes out during the day serving with. It's got 2 kegs of beers on it. It's got alcohol. They come into the bar in the morning. They're doing their Bloody Marys. They're drinking all day on the golf course. They come back. They're settling their bets. They're sitting at a table. They're going, all right, well, I'll give you the 2 guys that you just came in yesterday. All right, I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to give you a suspended case on this guy, 2 years on this guy, but you're buying the next round, okay? All right. No, I don't care. He's been here 3 times. I don't care. I'm gonna put I'll buy 3 rounds if you just give him the 2 year suspended sentence. You're like this playing cards. That is
Mhm.
not the case in the feds. Would you agree?
Definitely, definitely like the state stuff, man. It's way easier, I believe. Like with in the federal level, man. From what I've seen, um, it's kind of like, hey, man, because I mean, well, I'll tell you about uh, so the case before
Well,
mine,
talk to me.
the
You've got so much knowledge right now, and wait till you get out, and you're going to be in and out so fast. You better start your own YouTube channel, man.
man, definitely, we'll definitely have to collab, man. We might have to just like go live once or twice a week, man, and just get to talk about the current issues and stuff. But man, I'll tell you, man, like so my sentencing judge, Judge Crabtree here in Kansas City, Kansas. Um, the case before me was a guy that was on that was on supervised release, and I think he had like 60 days left. he transfers to New Jersey, open up a cell phone store, and then start doing some crazy stuff. Gets indicted in New Jersey with 60
Joycey.
days
What exit?
with
What
si-
25?
with 60 days left on his supervised release. The judge was like,
Ooh.
60 days left on the supervised leave, had been doing it for 2 years. And so the guy, they gave him a revocation. The prosecutor was like, hey, man, I guess the revocation, no, you can't get no new felony charges or whatever. So it was like a virtually small, I think the guidelines was between 4 and 10 months. The prosecutor asked for 7 months. The defense asked for the low end, 4 months. The judge was like, okay, well, I understand this and this, 10 months. I was like, man, well, that just showed you, like, man,
You can piss off a
yeah,
judge. You can
yeah,
piss off a judge. He can go
yeah.
above or below, and within the guidelines,
He was
like
within the
mine
guideline.
went from
Yeah,
category 4 to
yeah,
category 1. They can even there's
yeah,
room to. I went from 96 months to 52 months, and they didn't have to go beyond the
yeah,
sentencing guidelines because they switched from
yeah,
category 4 to 1. But I did a lot of hard work, and we'll get into that because I know you did a lot of hard
definitely,
work
man.
too. We'll get into that because, guys, if you're listening, you can change the outcome
Oh,
of your
definitely.
sentence. If you're facing 10 years, you could
Yeah,
get 2 years. You got to do a
yeah.
lot of hard
I think,
work,
yeah, man.
but it can
I
be
think
done.
the biggest part is, man, convincing the judge, because I think, a judge can see through the bullshit. They can see through it, man. Like, they can. I was watching this judge, man. The sentencing before me was probably like an hour.
Even a
Yeah,
hardcore judge, right? He can
yeah,
see through you. He's got a heart too.
yeah.
He's
He's a
still
real
real.
person, man. I think that they kind of get tired of people coming before them, shooting the shit, writing these BS letters and all this other different stuff with nothing to back it up. So
Yeah, I got a bunch of templates I sent you from Justin Paperny. I paid
10
$20,000
times,
for, and
yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
violated my probate my pre-trial. I went to work. I showed up. I did
yeah.
everything right. That's
That's what you're
great.
supposed
Good
to do
for
as a
you.
law-abiding citizen,
Now,
man.
now tell me why I don't give you 20
It,
years. What else
yeah,
did you do? Hello,
man.
right?
It doesn't. That don't. You just you have to create a narrative, and you have to make that judge believe that you're never going to be in his courtroom again, or you're never going to be in any courtroom again. And the only way to do that is by action,
Thank
is
you.
by
Thank you.
actionable, targeted effort, man. And if it's not actionable, if it's not targeted towards a change, and it's not set up to where someone can measure it on paper, and you're just talking, you know, that's all you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I documented everything. So, real quick, I don't want to
Yeah,
talk about me. It's about you. But every Friday night, so I was in a sober living house environment. I was their cook. I did that for free. I got free room and board for that. But every Friday night, we went in a van. We packed lunches all day, blankets, and everything. We went to homeless camps. We handed it out. But I had the guys who drove the van sign everything. Twice a week, I went to the Alcoholics Anonymous main office in
yeah.
Oakland, California. This white boy in Oakland. I lived on 30th and International Boulevard. So, and I survived. Trust me, if you got a ghetto pass, you're good. They called me Uncle Cracker. But, anyways, it was West Oakland. But hey, the best people in the
Hmm.
world live there. Anyways, I went and I scrubbed their
Yeah,
toilets, right? I did pamphlets. I did whatever they want in the office, all right? And then I worked for a food bank on Tuesdays. I packed food for homeless people, and there was a couple other things. I had it all documented. And most time, if you volunteer, like old, senior citizen centers, they always need
oh yeah,
people to clean their bathrooms, whatever it is. Go work at a food bank, and they have all the papers. Most people there, it's documented, and you show you bring all that to court. And you say, Judge, look, I did all this. I did all this extra stuff, and my judge said, that's great. You did all that extra stuff. You're complicated. You've been in jail 11 times. We gave you a chance. I'm like, what do you mean we gave you a chance? I never met you. Who the
hmm,
hell are you? I get it now. And she said, but I'm going to tell you, Sean, you did the
hmm,
work. You did the work. I know you wanted time off. You did the work. Guess what? I'm going to give you some time off. You're category 4, criminal history category 4. I'm going to move you to 1 from 96 months max down to 51 months. I'm going to give you
hmm.
52 months. That's a lot of
Man, that's
years.
what
She said, I did the work. I did the work, even though I did it maybe for the wrong reason, but I was on 4 years of pretrial. She said, you've been doing this for like
yeah,
3 years. You've been to 2 drug programs. You haven't had a dirty test. You're a complicated man, but you did the work. So I'm going to reward you because I'm a judge and I can do that. I know I don't have to give you 20
Mhm.
years now. You've already done all this stuff to change. You don't need 20 years,
Yeah,
right,
man, I
Thomas?
think once you show, shoot, man, I got some of my information in there. Like some of the stuff I prepared, man, I'll grab it and kind of flip the camera around, let the people see the different things because I kind
Yeah.
of, I just put it all in perspective. Well, shoot, let me grab that, man. Let me run and grab that. I'm gonna pause the
Okay.
camera for a second.
Hey, when did me and
Man,
you first talk? Was it a few
we
years ago?
talked. I want to say like January 2022. Cause well, let me look at the text.
So it's been a
Yeah,
few
we've been
years.
talking. Yeah, we've been.
Okay,
Let me see
okay.
if I still got the text.
You were a different man on that phone call. I know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Because I think,
You were probably whining and complaining on
yeah,
that
man, it's
first
like what
call.
the fuck, what are you, just kind of trying to, because I mean, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they don't understand what I did. I can't believe this happened to me.
Yeah,
All that
I
blah
mean,
blah. Right? How dare
yeah, man. You
they?
like, man, it's you kind of gotta once you, a big part of it, man, is switching that social blame, man, because who put who in the situation. And so, I mean, yeah, that's the whole thing, man. Who put who in a situation, and how do, um, that's just one thing you just kind of got to make sure that you're not passing the blame or trying to, pass the blame to somebody else. And once you take that responsibility for, your actions, who it affects, man, the victims in the case, and all the different things, that speaks volumes to a judge.
I can see the lights on inside of you, man. You get it now. You know you did wrong. We all know what wrong and right is. At 5 years old, we know you don't steal the candy bar while you're at the Safeway. We know that, but we
Yeah,
stole it anyways,
yeah. I mean,
right? We know the difference, but now you know that I'm not gonna steal
no,
that
it's
candy
always
bar,
the temptation
man.
is always there. But I think, most people, once you've erred on the side of caution, you might could get away with it this time. Yeah, you might could get away with it next time. But what about that time that you don't get away with it? And like me in this case, I was category 2. If not saying anything, hypothetically, if someone in my situation got a, did a crime, did all these other different things, and then 5 years down the road, because the feds go back 15 years. So category 2
Yeah,
now,
yeah. And they'll even go
yeah,
back further if you don't watch
yeah,
your
the PSR,
PCR.
yeah, yeah,
We know
man,
that, right? They'll pull up your
yeah, man,
juvenile
you
records.
got to think about it, man. Like it's all calculated there, man. And so, like my PSR, man, they were counting misdemeanors, and they kind of trip you up with the language, man, because I got a misdemeanor, uh 10 years and no 9 years and like 4 months before the instant offense. So if it would have been another 4 months, they wouldn't have caught it. I would have been category 1.
Oh, we'll delay your trial a little bit so
No,
we can
no,
add
it's
that.
no 10 years from the instant offense. So the time
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
crime committed. So like you could get caught from something from 10 years ago. So like that, so like 2001, if somebody committed a crime and the feds found out about it, boom, 10 years from 2001 back is where they're counting from, not when they found out about it. A lot of people don't know that part. Like
Yeah.
the instant offense, like when did the instant offense caught? The instant offense is the crime you committed to be in front of the judge or whomever.
And regardless whether the timing is 8 months, 2 months, 8 years, take a look at yourself. You did that shit. I don't care if you did it 28 years ago. Look at yourself. And I know you've
Yeah,
done that. You got to say, damn, I did
yeah.
do that,
Like
huh?
man, yeah, man. What the
I,
hell was I thinking? Like
I did
hindsight.
do that. And it's not because I'm a black man. It's not because, I'm a white trash guy in Oakland. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Look at yourself,
Yeah,
right? You
I
know
mean, once you
this,
look at
right?
yourself and you're like, okay, well, how do you, okay, looking objectively from yourself, how does this play a role in how does this move my life forward or backwards? You know, um,
Because so I've been in 11 county jails, most of them in Alameda County, which is
mhm.
West Oakland, where I kind of halfway grew up, and the rest was in San Francisco. And I used to say, because I was a white man living in a black neighborhood, they pulled me over every time because I'm white, right? Because they thought I'm dealing drugs, but I was.
Yeah, man.
It wasn't because of color
Man,
of
that
my skin. It was because, dude, you fucking stand out. We know you're fucking tweaking
yeah,
driving
that
that
be the
car. Of course they're gonna
yeah,
pull
man.
you over. It's not
Most
because
people
you're
don't
white
understand,
and
man.
in
Like in
West
my
Oakland.
allocution,
You
like in
stupid
my
fuck. I had to look at myself. I had to look at myself. I had to quit being angry. I had to say, damn, I was that man that they
yeah,
pulled
man.
over.
Most people
You
don't
know?
understand, man. Like my allocution, man, was probably one of the best things I ever wrote, man. Like I've never had a judge like this judge, like, we were like, I've read it maybe 15, 20 times. And so like, just when a judge looks at you, takes their glasses off and puts everything down and buys into what you're saying, that you're doing something right. That plucked one of those little, you've plucked one of those, heartstrings. Um, you know,
Yeah, I got somebody calling me on a different line, but you are live on Federal Prison Talk. And this is an ex girlfriend who we're still friends with. I don't know if she hung up. Are you there, Christina? Do you know that you're live on on YouTube?
How you doing?
I'm good. Do you know you're live on my YouTube channel right now?
Awesome.
This girl knew me when I was a bad guy.
I suppose like I did. I was bad too. We were bad.
So I do. Hey, Thomas, I did have. Oh, Thomas will
give
be
me one.
right back. But yeah, Christina, I'm doing a live show, and I had the
Yeah,
phone
I'll
number
let you
up here.
go.
No, you're live on the air right now. So if you want to say,
I know.
you want to call me back.
I can't imagine life in a federal prison would be better than it is out here. But it's hard and trying times right now. Things are rough. It sucks. But
And here's a blast from
heads
my
up,
past,
everybody.
guys. Here's an ex girlfriend. You think, why would an ex girlfriend be calling a guy that's got a Federal Prison Talk channel 20 years later? But
People are people. Hey, I was running the drug tank for San Mateo County.
I know.
People are people. Lives change, and always got you in my heart, bro.
All right. Well, we got it. But I'm doing a live show. If you want to comment, say hello to the viewers.
Hey, everybody.
Tell them what a piece of shit I used to be, because I was.
No, you've always been an awesome person.
No, don't lie.
Yeah, we used to do stupid shit. I'm not saying that. We used to do really stupid shit, bad shit. But we're inside are good people.
All right. I'm gonna call you after the show, though. Okay, Christina. It's
Call
really
me.
good to hear from
Yeah.
you. All right.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Okay. Sorry about that,
oh
Thomas.
man,
But hey, I never know who's gonna call, man. That was 20 years ago, and she still talks to me.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
I guess I
Yeah,
wasn't that bad.
that'd be the whole thing, man. So, yeah, trying to get this sucker to.
Yeah, like I have like 4 ex-girlfriends on Facebook, and we're like really, we talk all the time now. It's like I wish I could go back in time and change all that, and they wouldn't be ex-girlfriends now; they'd be my wife. But you know, I was an
Man, that
asshole. I was an asshole, guys. I was. I didn't deserve these women. Maybe today I can reconcile, but back then, man, I got to look at my whole past. I needed to go to prison. I'm so glad they sent me to prison. I deserved it.
yeah, man, that's the whole thing, man. Sometimes you just kind of gotta, the biggest thing, man, is just, it's my. I came in the house. I was sitting in the truck. It was getting a little dark. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, I see. I
yeah,
see the change. Unless you got a green
yeah.
screen.
No, man, I figured. I tried to figure out. I got a green screen, man. My boys do a lot of streaming, but I was like, yeah, I ain't got time to mess with it.
Are you boys in the house? You want to
Oh
bring them
man,
on the show?
they're
Say
man,
hello or
they just
anything
got
like
done with
that?
football practice. They're up there trying to do whatever the hell they're gonna do. They laying down, eating, and shit. That they're 11 and 9, so they're.
So have you had to talk with them about where you're going, or did you tell them I just got to go away? I got to do some
Man,
time
that's
for the
probably
government, or have you had to really
no,
talk? Have you
no,
had to?
man.
Because I brought this up before. What age do you tell your children you got to go do some time in prison?
Are still there, man. I get well, my boys, man. We sat down. We just kind of had a heart to heart, man. It's like, hey, I wrote a children's book, man, because I couldn't figure out how to, and that was one thing I put in my like the binder I gave to, like I wrote a children's book, man. I'll flip. Eh, Let me see. Let me flip this around. But yeah, man. Back
Like,
face.
if you got a 5-year-old kid, do you tell him the truth?
I guess it kind of
7 years old, 8 years old, 12 years old? What age
man.
do you? I know
It's
it's
all,
gonna vary, but what's a good age to tell your kid?
man.
I'm gonna go with 12 years old.
Man, honestly, man, it's all in. It's a age doesn't really matter as much as maturity levels. Like my boys are pretty mature, man. We had conversations. It's just been me, man. I've had them. I'm the sole provider for them, man. Their mom isn't in the picture, so just having a conversation with them, man. Just letting them know that every decision you make has a consequence, good, bad, or indifferent. And so the decisions you make, man, you have to be able to stand up, chin up, chest out, and walk through those things, because that's what refines you, and that's what builds character and integrity, man. And so when you make a choice, you can't cower and run away from it. And so, hey, man, hey, your dad's going to the Army. I'll be back in 6 months.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if that was the truth.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's time to not. Don't you think it's time to quit lying?
Yeah, there we go right there. So there goes the self-development. Well, the intrinsic light switch that flips on to where you like, man, once you start lying, once you stop lying, your life gets a whole lot easier. Man, once you tell people the truth, once you divulge, the thing that most people shy away from, it's less anxiety, man. You don't have to worry about, any of those things, man. In my allocution statement, man, I read a quote from Alec Baldwin, man. James Baldwin, man. Most people's lives are in the disarray that it's in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. My allocution was man. I got it, man. I'll post it. I'll send you a picture of it, man. You can post it or put it on there. But I had two things in there, man. But that quote from James Baldwin, most people's lives are in the disarray that it's in because they bought into the lie. Most people think their life's fine, or they can go on doing the things that they're doing, but they're buying a lie. And so once you
because they've justified it their whole life, right?
Yeah, you bought the lie.
Justified it, right?
And so, and as soon as I said that, the judge was like, "Oh wow, Alec." It's like, yeah, James Baldwin. Yeah, another part of no,
not Alec Baldwin.
No, James Baldwin.
Because I'm in Albuquerque, and he just had a case out here last year for that movie Rust. And I don't know about that guy.
How do you point a gun at somebody on a movie set and shoot them? Well, first off,
and and he's been in hella movies. He knows that.
Well, first off, can you hold him responsible for someone? Well, first off, you are responsible, because if someone had me a prop gun, the first thing I'm going to do is examine it, right? If I was in a car,
they made his intern go. His intern did the time for him.
If I'm in a car with you and I said, "Hey, hold this bag while we drive somewhere," I'm like, "Man, what's in it?"
Yeah, I'm on parole. Here, hold this.
Like, hey,
hey,
put this bag under your seat. We just got pulled over. No, what's in it? Hell no, you keep it. Because like me, man, I'll tell you one thing that stuck with me, man. I'm 6'10", man, like 400 pounds. And so when I was in college, man, I was studying criminal justice.
You're gonna be 300 when you get out, man. You'll be in and out in 3 months, 4 months, anyways.
So in Kansas, man, the law. So like Kansas, they have some very specific laws. So if you can reach anywhere in the car, it's yours. So one of my professors,
wow.
Kansas don't play. One of my professors was like, "Hey, so I made up this was year."
What the hell is a black man like you living in Kansas for, anyways?
Man, it's a horrible place. But my professor, man, he had made up a thing.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, black people must have a bad in Kansas,
it's the dynamic. It's kind of, man, it's more Mexican people here than anything.
Oh, that's Albert. I'm in New Mexico. Same kind of thing. I'm a minority here.
It's crazy, man. It's just one of those crazy things, man. You kind of just gotta. It's all demographic wise, man. It's what you make it, man. Wherever you're at is exactly what you make it. If you make it into a shithole, guess what it's going to be? Yeah, that's it, man. If you if you take care of your community and reinvest in it and make sure the people, the places, and the things that are a part of it are sustaining itself, man, it's going to be a great community. But why not be the first person to start it? I think a lot of times we wait for other people to do things and other people to start a process, man. Why not me? Why you can't be the decision maker that changes the tide for somebody else? Why can't this live save somebody from spending $20,000 with Justin Paperny because he's going to rip you off?
Yeah. Would you say in the would you say in the federal system is there any racism when it comes to sentencing? Now in
Man,
California, hell yeah, right?
well, I
In
mean,
Florida, hell yeah, right? But in the federal system, what I mean, because what's going on today with the no kings and all that stuff? Would you say
no,
there's any racism when it comes to the
no, I
judge
think the
sentencing
sentencing
you?
guidelines takes that out of it. So the sentencing guidelines and the PSR takes all of that out of it. So yeah,
And I'm not
no,
trying to
I
talk
mean, you got to
politics,
think. I
but
was only, I was,
if you look at my interviews, I've done
mhm,
over 200 interviews, and 100, I counted 130
mhm,
people were black. I don't know
mhm.
why they keep
Man, I
coming to
don't know.
me,
I was the only
but
black guy in the
you know,
courtroom. I mean, everybody else was. What else? The guy before me was Mexican. There was a black AUSA in the courtroom, but I mean, she looked more fair skinned than me. So, um,
I get black guys calling me. These are the same guys you'll see in front of a check cashing place on a Friday night at 3 a.m. when you don't want to go in there to cash your check because these black guys, those guys call me. I just got indicted. I can't talk to my peoples, and I'm scared. And I'm all, you're calling me? But I kind of get it, man. Because I get it. But and then I don't get
man,
it.
I think the most part is, um,
Why are you calling a white guy at 3
man,
a.m. because you're scared to go to prison? Don't you haven't your people's been in and out? Aren't you happy you're going now? You got your medals and your honors. It's not like that in the real world, man. Nobody wants to go to
yeah,
prison and they're scared. So yeah, they're gonna call a guy like me because I guess I understand and I'll listen and I'll walk you through it. Because they can't call their peoples that
man,
they're
state
hanging out
court is
with at three in
state.
the
I
morning.
mean, state court.
I
You
guess.
can depending on where you're at with state courts, you can shy away from. You can get a deferred adjudication. You can get probation. You get some other stuff.
Oh yeah, all that state court.
When the
It's so
federal government
yeah.
comes knocking, and you know that, well, I guess the realization that you're going to jail is when you like, okay, after, I guess the first day after you plead and you get what your case is, and when you get what you're charged with, and then you go look at, that where it's a white collar or wire fraud, you go look at the amount, and then you slide first off, you look at your criminal history if you know it, then you slide all the way down to, how much money the crime was, and then you start looking like, damn, um, under 250,000 is between 12
Yeah.
and 18 months. Over 250,000 is
And then if they say you can go home now after court and you'll be on
yeah,
pretrial, what the fuck? I mean, I
yeah,
almost wanted to be
man.
locked up. At least
That
I could
I
like
kind of
take
I
it all
kind
in.
of wish I could have did that because yeah,
But you don't. You
yeah,
get credit for the time served,
yeah.
but
You
you
can't.
can't fight your case. You can't go
Yeah,
volunteer at the food bank
that's the
and
whole
go
thing.
feed homeless
But
people while
sometimes I
you're
think
locked
most
up.
people that
So you can't
yeah,
show the
I
judge
mean
that
you
you've changed.
yeah,
I
not
mean, you can a
not really.
little
I mean
bit. You can say, "Hey,
I
I
mean
go
you
to church every
there's no
Sunday."
holding facilities for federal inmates. You're in a county jail or a federal
Yeah, or some
yeah, you're in a
or
federal
federal
detention
detention
center.
center,
I
which
mean,
is the
so
same. It's county jail. It's you're on the fourth. You're on the fourth
yeah,
floor. Everybody else is on
yeah,
the first three
yeah,
floors,
yeah. I
right?
mean,
That kind of
so
thing, right?
it doesn't really matter. But I mean, that's the thing about it. That's where it comes in, man. Like people don't think that, oh, I can go home now. They think it's like that's the worst part of it. Oh, no, you're going to come back in like 90 days, and 6 weeks from that, you're
Yeah.
going to be in jail.
You're going to check in with this magistrate.
No.
That's not the sentencing judge. It's a magistrate to make sure that your bond. So I had a $50,000 bond. I didn't have no $50,000, right? But I signed, and somehow they let me out. Well, I agreed to go do a drug program for 1 year, Newbridge, Berkeley, California, attack therapy. Like they made us look at. If I walked across the room with a cup in my hand and I drank it, okay, you're going to the mirror. So 15 minutes mirror time. You stand in front of a mirror. You can't look like this. You can't adjust your clothing. You can't scratch. You have to reflect on why you're there. And I would say, fuck you, start my time again. And they would do that. And after a while, they said, you know what? Just go out to the curb. We're going to call the marshals. You're going back. And I said, okay, okay, okay. I'll stare at the mirror. And eventually, I did so much mirror time that they said, nobody can send Sean to the mirror because my peers
Mhm.
could send you to the mirror. And they said, Sean
Mhm.
enjoys the mirror. He somehow psychologically convinced himself the mirror's his good time. He can escape there. You can't send Sean to the mirror anymore. Now Newbridge does not have the mirror. I don't think it's because of me, but it was that kind of
Those
program,
things don't
man.
work, man.
And I hated that place. I hated that place. Now I love that place. I've been back as a guest speaker, and I tell the guys there, I hated you. I hated everything about you. I love you all now. Tiny miracles happen, and I needed that program so much. Thank God they let me do that, and then I could go to a sober house for the next 3 years, waiting
That's crazy,
sentencing.
man. That's
But
the thing. I'm like, damn, we can't get like a half day for pretrial. I mean, or like some credit for pretrial detention, a pretrial bond.
they'll give you consideration. They'll
Yeah,
consider it.
yeah.
If you've done above and beyond your call of duty, which you have done. Because everybody, look, pretrial, I didn't violate, man. I went to work every day. I showed up. I didn't violate curfew. I even had an ankle bracelet. I did everything right. That's great. Good for you. Why? So tell me why I don't give you 20 years. That's what you got to tell the judge on sentencing day. Why? That's great. You did all that. Great. Good. Everybody does that. Now, Thomas, you went above and beyond. So maybe it's time, Thomas. What did you do above and beyond to tell that judge to get that year and a day?
Man, the biggest thing is, I guess after my target letter, man, and doing some, just kind of like, for the most part, man, just yeah. I mean,
And it takes a minute. You don't get it by next
It probably
Tuesday.
takes a couple. I mean, because as soon as you get a target letter, man, you talk to these people. They even did a reverse proffer with me 2 years before I was even indicted. They told me everything they had, and then they just disappeared for a year. No contact, no nothing.
And welcome
And then
to
they
the
pop
federal
up. They're like, "Hey,
judicial
how you
system."
doing?" I'm
Wow.
like, "Okay, we go in." Yeah.
Yeah, we're
And
back.
then
And nothing's
and then
changed.
they disappeared
Here we
again. For
are.
2 years they did this. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Well, during that time, man, my loss amount was $403,000. I started making $20,000 a month payments. And I did that for
How the hell did you do that legally?
yeah,
Can you talk
no. I
about
mean,
that, or should we
man,
change the
trucking.
subject?
Yeah. Sometimes so my just trucking, man, I was doing that. Yeah,
20,000
yeah.
months
I mean,
legally?
yeah.
Are you
Man,
hiring? I need a job.
I'm going to get back into trucking probably sometime next year, man. But
And a probation will let you do that when you get out. I know a lot of guys. They can go interstate, all that stuff, trucking, and your probation officer will be for normally
yeah,
they will be. They'll have your
my
back on that.
pretrial
So
officer, man,
yes, you can do that when
because
you
I got
get
a
out.
passport. Yeah.
Pretrial is different from probation. Okay, totally different. Two
Yeah,
different
so I
departments.
mean, that's the biggest thing, man. Because I started making payments and restitution payments. I think I paid about I'd say it was closer probably to 10, probably 8 to 12,000 a month. It was some $20,000 months.
You could have probably done 500 a month and still got the same result.
I don't know. I don't
But
think
I
so,
don't know for
man.
sure. But
I don't under.
no,
I don't.
no,
Well,
I'm
for
just
me,
I'm guessing.
my sentencing judge, for me, my sentencing judge said one of the only things that stood out outside of everything was the substantial repayments I made, because I wasn't even indicted. I had a target letter in 21, and from January 2022 until the beginning of 2023, man, I was making $8,000 to $10,000 a month payments. Boom, 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 knocking it down. I would have paid it all down, man.
So what kind of mindset? What kind of mindset? I'm because at that time in my experience, I'd have never paid them
Man, I
that
just
kind of
had like
money. Hell, you're gonna send me to
for
prison. Why should I pay you? So how did your psyche? How did you
man, the
convince
only
yourself to
thing
do
that
that?
because you can't control anything other than what you can do. So the only thing I knew how to do was drive, make money. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I have this deficit. They said the government is alleging that, these things happen and these loans are fraudulent, or, this loss amount is going to be this. Okay. So I'll just start repaying the loans within the payment, just making the payments. And so that's what I did. The payments totaled about $15,000 a month. And so,
Did you have some money set aside they didn't
yeah,
know about to make these payments? And I
no,
don't want to incriminate you. I don't want.
no,
I
no,
just
no.
asked that, but I don't even know if we
No.
haven't talked about your charges. Why the
Man,
hell are you going to
Class B
prison?
felony, making a false statement to a lending institution. So they didn't get me on wire fraud; they got me on that. So I would have been category 1 had they did wire fraud versus because with my charge, the making a false statement to a lending institution, it carries up to 30 years in prison. Wire fraud carries up to 20. So
I met a lot of you guys that
yeah,
in the chow
yeah.
line.
So that's how they're getting a lot of those people with those PPP loans, man. That's that charge right there takes it from a class C felony to a class B. So you're ineligible for probation. No, you are eligible for probation. My lawyer argued that in court. They actually got that wrong in my PSR, and I was like, well, I won't kick a dead horse, but that's
And I want to get to sentencing day and how you, because I know you already told me you spoke to the judge from your
yeah,
heart and it made a difference. And I want to get to that.
yeah, most definitely, man.
Go on.
So just kind of put everything in perspective, man. Like for me, like I had so I'll flip the camera around and show you guys. Let me see. Camera 2. So yeah, this is what I did.
You got a camera
so
too.
like this is the bind. So like before my PSR, man, and so like doing the endless research, I kind of looked at what the PSR. I did a lot of prep work for it and answered the question. And so like I wrote this letter to let me make sure I got this. Is that? Oh, I think I got it backwards. Is it working? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can. I
Okay,
definitely can.
let me go back to see. I mean, something popped up on the. I think I added a. Let me see. Okay, there it is. Okay, so facing back, I'll just do this one. But I wrote a letter, to the because I knew who was going to be doing my PSR, the probation officer. So I wrote a letter asking, hey, can you include these things with my as attachments to my PSR? And so once they're attachments, the judge gets them. And so like, man, I had a personal history statement, character references, all my high school diplomas, all my degrees and different things, a reentry plan, all my substance abuse treatment, identifying information, driver's license, social security card, all that stuff. So I took all of the work out of them asking for this stuff in the PSR. And so because once you take
Okay.
all of these things away, like I did like the community works. I worked for harvesters, man. I had over 400 hours of harvesters, restitution, my medical records and different things. And so this is my narrative I wrote to the judge, man. It was like 10 pages, like going from age 7 until the incident offense and all the things I did after that. And the next thing, character reference letters, man. I talked to people and different things like that, man, and got those things from them. All my high school diplomas, degrees, and different things. A reentry plan.
This is very important. So yeah, and if you can kind of if you can in a can you say again everything you just told me, like because I got it, I got this narrowed in. This is very important.
Yeah,
People, listen up to what
yeah,
Thomas is telling you.
yeah,
Can
yeah,
you kind of
yeah.
recap?
Can you see it right side up, or is it flipped the wrong way?
Yeah, I got it
Okay.
on the big screen.
Is it upside down
I
or
think
is
I
it
do.
looking? Hold on one second.
It's upside down.
Hold on one
Maybe
second.
turn it around. Listen up, people. You want time off your sentence? Listen to Thomas. Yeah, turn it around. Turn it
Okay, cool.
upside down.
Yeah.
Turn it 180. There we go. There we
Now
go.
it's still, I don't know why my camera's doing that weird.
That's okay, man.
That's
That's
all.
okay. Turn it around 180 degrees.
Oh,
There we go. Now they can see it. Now
okay.
they can see it.
Cool. So yeah, man. But so what I did, man, I just kind of took the guesswork out of. So this is what I wrote. I wrote a letter to. Is that right side up?
Except it's inverted, like the mirror
Hold on one
image.
second. I can fix it.
So let me see. Let
Hold
me
on
see if
one
I can
second.
correct that. Let
I
me
can
see if I
fix
can
it.
fix that. This is important, guys. Bear with us. Don't change the channel. Don't touch that dial.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna get on my iPhone because I this Android phone is okay, man, but it's just horrible. All right, I'm gonna join.
Don't touch that dial, people. This is important. If you are on pretrial, indicted, target letter, you need to watch this. He'll be right back.
Cool, back. Sorry,
Here we
I
go.
had that Android phone. I was like, man, let me just get on my iPhone because I'm having too many issues with that sucker.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Back camera. I don't know why it's inverted, but okay,
No,
cool.
I
There you
fixed it
go.
now. I
But yeah,
did the
man.
mirror.
So I wrote a
I did the
letter
mirror,
to.
and now I'm gonna maximize it. There we go. Now they
Yeah,
should all
man.
see it.
So
Yep,
like
yep. There we
for me,
go.
man, I just put a binder together with my case number and everything, and so I wrote a letter and put it right here for the for the
Can you turn it 90 degrees?
yeah.
Turn it
So I
90. Yeah,
wrote a
there we
letter
go.
and
Yeah,
put it in there
perfect,
for
perfect.
the probation officer that was going to do the report because they're going to ask you for all of this stuff. So the thing is about mine was about 2 hours, and so all of this stuff I got to the probation officer to
When you say mine was about two
yeah my
hours, you're talking
PSR
about
my
your pre-sentence
PSR with yeah
uh, interview with the probation officer, and explain to people that probation officer he just comes in for that one time, right?
Yeah, so the
Explain that part to
probation
people.
officer that does this, so there are probation officers that are in the field, and there are probation officers that do PSRs. Some of them are, desk huggers. Some of them out in the field. Some probation officers have only sex offenders, or Jessica, not Jessica's law cases, but they're different type of probation officers. Some of them just do PSRs, and that's all they do. But this person that did mine in the Kansas City office. I'm not gonna say her name, but
No, you don't have to do that. Now, people who are listening, there's PSI, there's PSR, there's PSRI. It's pre-sentence investigative report is the proper name, but you'll hear PSI, you'll hear PSR.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all the
The
same, right,
PSI is
Thomas?
usually state level. PSR is Fed level. The pre-sentence report, yeah, that's
Okay,
gen- that's generally what
thank
it
you for
is.
clarifying that.
And so, but yeah, I wrote a letter to them. I had because I got this stuff to them because they're going to ask for your birth certificate, your social security card, all this stuff. They're gonna ask you for all this stuff.
And they want to know your dog's name in high school. Did you beat up your girlfriend in high
Yeah,
school? All that kind of stuff too. A PSR is not on your side, right? That's the evidence to show the judge against you.
yeah. I mean, the
Am I
PSR
right or
is
am I
just
wrong?
it's a roadmap from when you were in elementary school to the instant offense and what you did after. But
And so you don't get to talk to the judge about your PSR. I always tell people on sentencing day, please talk to the judge. It's a conversation. It's not a speech. It's not a Grammy award. It's you get to talk to the
yeah, most
judge.
definitely,
Am
man.
I
You get an
right?
allocution statement, man. And with the PSR, you get 14 days to challenge it. So anything that's in the PSR that you feel like shouldn't be in there, you have to have case law and precedent and challenge that with the probation officer. And if you can't get that resolved with them, then a judge steps in. And so, and
This is good stuff, Thomas. I'm going to edit this little part, and I'm going to do little pieces on my
yeah,
channel
yeah,
because
yeah.
Thomas, keep
So
going. But man, this is
most
great stuff.
what
Thank you,
most people
Thomas.
don't
Thank you so much.
understand is when you do the PSR, they have 72 days from when you plead when you do your change of plea. Generally, when you're indicted no not guilty. Then you do a change of plea to guilty because you pleaded because they have a 97% win rate.
And when you do that, you
You
can't change your
you
mind and go to
can, but
trial,
there has to
right?
be exempt. There has to yeah.
You
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Oh,
So if you
school me,
plead
school
not
me.
guilty, if you plead to
If you plead guilty and then you
you
change your
can
mind 2 days
you
later,
have to have
can you take it to
substantial
trial?
and you have to have substantial evidence to support why a trial is in the best interest of the case. And
And how the hell 2 days later? Why
if
would you have that?
someone who is getting a 5K one on you lied and you found out about it,
And a 5K
uh
one is
that
what
is
we call that
yeah,
a what?
yeah. most
Snitch.
definitely. Yeah, I
But explain the difference between telling on yourself and getting the 2 or 3 point reduction. Telling on yourself, that's not a snitch, but although they put it as a 501k, explain the difference to people, because some guys
yeah,
that got to show their paperwork when they get to
yeah.
the FCI medium, they're not a snitch. They told on
Well,
themselves, but
you can't.
yet
I
their
mean,
thing says under seal. Explain how they are
well,
not a
so they got the
snitch.
5K one, and then they have the Rule 35. So, Rule 35 is after your sentence, you can get time off if you're in jail. You find out about a crime, and you want to, if you're in jail and you know information about another crime that can substantially prosecute someone else, you can get time off.
And
Yeah,
that's a snitch. And
yeah.
that's a
5K
snitch. We
one
know
is
that, right?
just, yeah.
But when you're talking about yourself and they still put it under seal, and
Well,
you
you
haven't
won't. Well,
snitched on
nothing you
anybody but
say. So, like,
yourself,
they won't seal anything that you said that incriminated you. So if they sealed something, then you snitched on somebody. If it's sealed or any part of it, or
okay.
if you're an informant, if you have anything sealed, you probably, from what I've read, you won't be able to like walk some of these yards and different things. Well, I mean, it depends. It
Yeah,
just depends.
right.
If you're at a low or a camp or something, nobody really cares because they don't want to leave the camp.
They don't care. And in the camp, chomos aren't allowed, and YouTube will edit. I can't even say that word chomo. I think on YouTube, but if you go into low and you're a regular straight man, I'm sorry, I feel bad for you.
Mhm.
But you know what I mean. But in a camp, okay, uh, child molesters are not allowed in the camp. Although
Yeah,
there are some, I think,
they can
that
get to a
didn't get
camp.
caught for that.
They
They
can
didn't
get
get
to a
caught for
camp. It's
that.
just
They
I
didn't
don't
get
think the
caught for
point.
that. There was a guy. He was a preacher. There was a guy. He was a preacher, and he basically told us, "Yeah, I molested little kids, but that's not why I'm here." Ooh,
That would be a hard conversation for him to have in a low.
yeah. He got
Yeah,
killed
I mean, but the
while I
biggest
was
thing is
there.
most people don't.
So people can
They just
die
had a
in a
guy.
in a
They just
camp.
had a. I think
People can
they just
die
had a
in a
guy
camp.
die 2 days ago in Beaumont. They just had a guy die in the low like a couple days ago, man. So I mean, it's all possible.
It's rare that somebody gets murdered in a camp. I had 3 murders while I did my 4 years in the camp. 2 were for drug and basically gambling debts, and one was the
Mhm.
preacher guy who this stupid guy. He told us all, "Oh yeah, I love little kids. That's not why they caught me. That's not why I'm
I
here in a
almost.
camp." And those were
Well, you
his
know, it's
last
kind of crazy. How
words.
do you feel comfortable enough to divulge that stuff in jail? To who are you talking to in jail? Why? How did this conversation come about? That's kind of crazy. So I guess, but I guess, man, it's just
He had to tell somebody. He wanted to get it out in his
yeah.
sick little twisted mind. And this was at so in a camp, they give you jobs. You could go work for City Hall. You could go work for the Parks and Recs, and an inmate will drive you there and pick you up. And while you're there, you work for the city. They'll buy you pizzas, and sometimes they'll buy you beer and say, "Shh, don't tell nobody that we bought you beer when you get back." That happens in a camp all the time. But this guy worked at Supermax where I worked. So inmate drives us to the Supermax, the most secured prison in the world. I know 3 ways to escape, but anyways, this guy went crazy one day and told all the guards, "Yes, I was a preacher and I had little kids." And this guy went off. I think he was trying to. I think it was his suicide goodbye recital. Because the next day he
Man,
got killed.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. For the most part, um, man, those are man. I wouldn't doubt. I'm surprised. I'm surprised someone didn't get that information and try to do like a Rule 35. Like, hey, I know this guy committed these crimes, and yeah, oof, that's a tough thing to do, man.
Uh, Camps usually don't have the politics like that. But there was where I was in Florence, Colorado. There was, and it's
Mhm.
Sureños, which means south of the border. So, but there was a Norteño that came in and gang affiliated, and when he got there, he stood in the middle of the campus, the high school campus. He would not go to see his case manager or he would not go to the unit he was assigned. He stood there. Must have been 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. The guy just stood in the middle of this. with the two buildings. And I said, "What's this guy doing there?" They said, "He's Norteño, and he's marked. He knows if he goes into Teller building, they will kill him." And I go, "Why doesn't he go turn himself into the bubble to the guards?" He goes, "We don't know. I don't know why. You would think he would just go, 'Hey, they're going to kill me. I can't stay here.'" He just waited and waited. Finally, they went and took him to the shoe. I have no idea what happened to him. I don't know if he lived. I don't know if they sent him off somewhere. But yes, there's politics in the camp, but it's so rare. And in a camp, it's like going to a high school. There's some bullies. Be nice to the bullies. Well, don't be nice to the bullies, but just go, "Hey, what's up, bully?" And you'll get along fine. But this guy, he had so many like marks and tattoos and 27 teardrops on his eye, where this guy knew he couldn't survive even in a camp.
Yeah,
So
it definitely does, man. I mean, a lot of people, man. Yeah. I think if you go to the hole from a camp, man, I think you go back up to a low. I'm not too sure. I don't think they'll ship you to another camp.
Yeah, you can call it. And don't you guys, if you're going to a camp, and like Christy, I just did a lady named Christy, and I won't say more than that about her, but I just did so since I got let me see, I have this now. I went to college after prison. I am a certified peer support worker with the state of New Mexico. I'm a certified clinician with the state of New Mexico for substance abuse and mental abuse disorder, and I can evaluate people, and I can write you a letter to get you into RDAP to get you your year off or less, depending on how much time you got. And I just did this with a lady named Christy this morning, so she's going to get her year off from RDAP. But and I say this because yes, I've turned my life around, guys, but I'm not a saint, okay? You know, I'm not a saint, but yes, all these certificates you see, I have 33 certificates. You can get them too. It's easy, okay? Just take all the classes, everything you can, take all the programs you can, and your time will be cut in half, but you become a better person. So I did all this, I did all this because I wanted to reset my life. When you go to prison, like Thomas, when you go there, reset your life. People pay thousands of dollars to go to a fat farm, to put everything on hold, lose weight, come out a better person. You get to do better. You not only lose weight and have an exercise program, you work on your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. You will come out. You already have achieved that, and I can't wait to meet when you get out. Even if you do 30 days, you're going to be, oh man, you're going to be so full. You will be a prophet.
Yeah, we're trying to get there, man.
And I mean that.
We got to get there, man.
Thomas.
That's the whole thing, man. A lot of people, man,
or you can go hang out with the thugs
I ain't got no time.
and sell sodas for for $2 a pop. Go down to the road because you got no fence in a camp. You go pull the bags back, get $250. Hand out the Jack Daniels bottles and the Hennessy. I got hand dog, $300 a bottle. Who wants one? You could do all that shit, right? And go back and get out and hang out with your boys down out, fucking 37th and fucking Highland. And yeah, I've been to prison, motherfucker. You can do all that shit. Or Thomas, you can be on a YouTube channel like me, talking to somebody like you, telling you,
you definitely, man. The idea, man, is who are the people that are coming behind us? Who are the people that where's the social justice and like yeah.
You got kids,
so,
right?
man,
You got kids, right? So what do you want to? You want to be the thug down? Shit, I'm at the MMM store, dude. I'm on 37th and Highland, motherfucker. Too Short used to be here. Now I'm selling his CDs, motherfucker. You want to be that guy? You can. Or
man,
and I met Too Short at NA meetings because he was court ordered. He shook my hand once. He could care less. Some white dude or whatever shook my hand. He won't remember. I remember because it was Too Short, right? But what do you want to do,
man? The easiest part, like you said, man, it starts inside, man. And once you've figured out that, once that light bulb, once that thing has clicked, and it's time to make a change and move your life in the right direction, man, everything just starts falling in order. the things that are supposed to happen, everything that's supposed to come to you is gonna come to you, man. And you can delay the things that are gonna come to you, man. You can try to dictate and control the outcome and the narrative, but you really can't, man. You just kind of gotta take the bumps, the bruises, learn what you need to learn, and move forward, man. Because anything else is just wasting time, and that's one thing we're not guaranteed. You know?
Hey, do you got a minute? Could I show you a
Yeah,
clip
yeah,
from Richard
yeah,
Pryor talking about
yeah. I
prison?
got all day,
You
bro.
got a couple minutes? Because this is funny. This is funny shit. But I want you to see this, man. This is Richard Pryor.
Grab
I
something.
really want you to see this. Let me just show you this clip, okay? All right, all right. You're gonna like this, man. Hold on. Let me get it here. Just take a minute here. Okay, you're really gonna like this. I know you will. Here we go.
At least I don't
Watch
have to
this
look
clip,
at them
man.
anymore. I went to penitentiary. Gene Wilder, I did a movie. I went to, not me personally. I mean, I went to do a film in penitentiary.
I know
and
if you
I
saw
was
the
up
movie.
there 6 weeks, Arizona State Penitentiary.
Hey, that's
It was something. Oh, you're applauding for that? Arizona State Penitentiary, real popular. Oh man, it was strange because it's like 80% black people. And what's strange about that is that there are no black people in Arizona.
Can you hear this, Thomas? You're gonna
I'm
like
not
this.
lying, they bust
Watch,
motherfuckers in.
Couple minutes.
And I was up there and I looked at all the brothers and it made my heart ache. You know, it's all these beautiful black men in the joint. God damn, warriors should be out there helping the masses. And I felt that way. I was real naive, right? In 6 weeks I was up there, I talked to the brothers, you know, and I talked to them. Thank God we got penitentiaries.
We'll explain why. Watch.
I asked them, I said, why did you kill everybody in the house? Because they was home. I mean, murderers. Do you hear me? Real live murderers. I thought black people killed people by accident. No, these motherfuckers was murderers. I met one brother, his name was J-Bo. Motherfucker lift weights, he was in charge of it. J-Bo, muscles every motherfucker. Where's my man? Muscle. He was doing a sentence, triple life. How in the fuck do you do triple life?
Triple life.
I mean, if he die and come back, he got to go to penitentiary. Right? They say, fuck kindergarten, get your little old ass back in the penitentiary, motherfucker. You know what you did last time you was here. Gene Wilder loved to jump in the middle of the killers and start talking, hi guys, how you doing? I said, Gene, bring your ass out. What do you think they do to us if we were here, Rich? I say, fuck us. And Gene said, I'm not homosexual. Homosexual ain't got nothing to do with it. They don't fuck you because you like it. They just fuck you just to see that look on your face. I met one dude kidnap, murder 4 times. And I thought 3 times that was your ass, right? No. I said, what happened? I can't get your shit right. But I'm getting paroled in 2 years, Brother Rich. I'm gonna fire it up, you know. I got some contracts outside, you know what I mean? Let's see, yeah, I know what you mean. See, I wanna know when this motherfucker getting out, who he gonna be with, and if I see him in my neighborhood, I'm just gonna shoot the motherfucker. Because I do not want to be kidnapped. Take no chance, no motherfucker calling up my wife talking about send some money. Because that's really my ass. So, well, don't fuck up the suit. That's what we're gonna bury him in. I'm gonna take my chances. Damn, I'm gonna be kidnapped putting my hands behind my back. Because they always like to make you put your hands behind your back and shit and then fuck with you a little while. Said, no, motherfucker, blow my face off with the shotgun while I got my hands on your nuts. so there'll be some evidence. Right? So the police come in, I open his hand. And this guy's gonna be easy to find. He's gonna show up to the hospital sooner or later. And they always put that shotgun on you, you ain't got to do shit. That's easy to say, but in real life, we all know a shotgun, your hand will automatically jump behind your back. Even if you don't want it to, your hand say, fuck you. It's a shotgun, asshole. Give me that rope. I'll tie myself. Is this a good knot? I mean, everybody like to be brave, right, in the real situation, but we ain't so brave sometimes, you know. I mean, sometimes you be brave. Most of the time, we just ordinary, you know. Hope we don't get in no situation where you have to be brave. That's how the Nazis fucked over people. Because most people are basically decent. Them Nazis just run over motherfuckers. Because black people always say, fuck, I'd have told them not. You wouldn't have told them Nazis shit. Because them motherfuckers didn't play. You be out there telling me, hey, motherfucker, you Mr. Nazi. What is this? Oh, nothing. Just fucking around, Jack. Like them boots you got on home. In penitentiary, man, they got all them racist groups. You got the white groups, hate, they act like they're in New York. They got the Nazi party and what they call it, the Ku Klux Klan. The Mexicans got them gangs, you can't pronounce the names. And they don't wear no shirts. Black people got the Miles and the Muslims, double Muslims. Them's the one you don't fuck with, them double Muslims. Because them motherfuckers can't wait to get to Allah. And want to take 8 or 9 motherfuckers with them. I used to be
Anyways,
He's
man,
crazy.
you get the drift, man. God bless Richard Pryor, man. And you know he died a while ago, but I mean, I found that clip, and man, I watch that clip every once in a while because, I mean, you know, you know what I mean. There's and you know what, you're probably only gonna do 3 to 6 months, if that. But if you don't bring your sense of humor with you, Thomas, um, bye, dude. Just fucking kill yourself now. Because I say that because when you get there, there's guys. I met a guy in line at Chow Hall. It was his second day in prison, right? I'll wait for you to come back. It's his second day in prison. His name is Chris Pedros. I say that because he's been on my channel now. But we're in line, and it's his second day in prison. And I'm talking to some guy. I don't know what we're talking about. He goes, "You know what? Fuck you guys. I don't want to." Because we looked over. He goes, "Hey, what? Are you new here?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah, I'm new here, guys. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know you. I'm here to do my time. I'm just gonna do my time. I'm gonna go home. I don't want to know nobody. Fuck all you guys. I don't want to fuck it. I'm not here to make friends." Right then, I knew he'd be my best friend, and he's pretty much my best friend. He's been on the show. He's the guy with the cowboy hat. And right then and there, I fucking knew. I just knew this guy is gonna be a good friend of mine. And because if he had held that mentality, like "fuck you, I'm just gonna do my time," you know what? How miserable would your time be in that mind frame? So you're gonna meet people, and they're gonna say, "I don't want to. You're a short timer. I don't care about you." They're gonna walk away. Fine, let them walk away. But you can resist all you want. But people are gonna want to be your friend. Let them fucking be your friend. If you're gonna feel it, you get one superpower. I read a book. It was called 99 Days and a Get Up. I'm all and a get up. Don't you mean a get out? Don't you mean 99 days and to go free? I guess that was already taken. It was called 99 Days and a Get Up. And I'm reading the book. This is bullshit. The guy's got his picture all over the book. And I'm all, fuck this guy. But I read it anyways. But one chapter said you get a superpower. When you get out, you can read through people's bullshit. You can tell who's real, who's lying, who's full of shit, and who's real, who's genuine. You get that superpower.
Hmm.
I use it every day. And God bless that guy who wrote the book. That one chapter, the rest of the chapters, fuck it. But that, it was 19 chapters, chapter 14, the superpower. Thank you for writing that book. And thank you for letting that book fall into our library. You're going to have that superpower if you don't have it already.
Hmm.
You know what I
Definitely,
mean?
man. You got to kind of, it saves you time and energy, man, cutting through the bullshit.
And I can read people. Now it's not 100%. I get fooled. I get played, but for the most part, I don't get played. Thomas, you're real. I know you're real. And I'm telling you this. I'm looking at you, Thomas. And I've talked to you over the years and this and that. And cause you're
Mhm.
talking from the heart, Thomas. Thomas, you're gonna fucking be so much of a better man when you get done with this. If you're not already, but there's still a little bit more room for you to grow, man. And Thomas, I love you, Thomas. I love you. And thank you for calling me. Thank you for texting me. Because Thomas, it's people like you that give me purpose in life. I don't know how much to stress anybody listening to this channel. Please call me because when you call me, I got a
Mhm.
reason to live today. You know?
Yeah,
I
man.
get a reason to live. I'm a washed up guy. I'm some stupid white trash guy who's raised in the only trailer park in San Francisco I was born in, right? I'm white trash. My own race don't even fucking like me, right? I get a call from you. You who listening right now? You give me a purpose. You give me a reason to fucking keep going, man. Thomas, you gave me a reason when you call, when you
Hmm.
text.
Definitely,
Thank you,
man.
Thomas.
We got to stick together, man. We got to push the narrative. We have to make sure that people understand, man. And so people are not taken advantage of by these big names or these people that can, with the eloquent words and the things that can, shape you and shape you and move you internally to pay them large amounts of money to do stuff that is, it's just, nobody can do it for you, man. If you don't have the intrinsic idea that, hey, man, how do I become a better person and show that to my sentencing judge? You know, people can write it for you.
Originally, on my little scoreboard here, it says I had 24 people listening. It says I'm down to two. You two people, get a fucking life. What are you doing listening to us? No, I'm just kidding.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for tuning in, man.
Definitely, man. They're always out there. And so,
Thomas, can we do another show? Because
yeah, most
we could
definitely, man.
talk
We got to kind of,
forever. And I know
yeah,
you got a family, you
I'm
got
gonna
your
get out here.
kids. Can
Man, I
your
think
kids come on and say
they're
hello?
up there getting ready to
Are
go to
they
bed. It's
around?
9, it's about 10 o'clock here. So they got summer school tomorrow. So,
Okay, we've been talking like
yeah.
we're going on 2 hours, man.
Yeah,
Can
man,
you
I'm
do a
free
show
this
this
weekend,
weekend
man.
or anything? Or
Let's set
what's
something
up,
up,
man?
man. And we can go through kind of some of this PSR stuff and the different stages of, kind of like structure it, man, and just see how, how do you manage your emotions? How do you manage the stress? The different things. How do you have that conversation with your kids about, hey, man, this is what happened. How do you have that conversation with your family? If you're working still through your indictment, how do you have that conversation with your employer to see if your job's going to be there when you come back?
I know I worked at Rainforest Cafe at Fisherman's Wharf while I was on pretrial living in a sober living house. And as a matter of fact, that Newbridge program that I got, I think I got maybe 15 people from that program. I got them
Yeah.
all hired, right? We were all like one big fucking family. And they kept telling me, we want you to be a manager. And I finally had to tell them, look, I can't do the job because
Mhm.
I'm going to prison. I don't know when. Maybe next year, maybe this year. I don't know. And they're, what do you mean? Well, I've been on pretrial 2.5 years. Well, they're not going to prison. I'm going to
Pretrial is
prison,
only
man.
reason,
I
only
can't
reason
take
this
the
take X
job.
amount of years is because their caseload is backed up or they just don't think it's too important right now. you know, I mean, my ASUSA in the case simply said, he's like, man, it wasn't an important case and he was making payments, so we weren't going to indict him. That's what he said to the judge. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's done everything with pretrial. Um, came in of his own volition. I had a grand jury. I mean, I had, man, it was just a whole crazy experience. This whole thing was, man, like they did a reverse proffer. I got a grand jury summons, man, in a target letter and all kind of stuff, man, and then it just disappeared. And then, yeah,
Have you heard of Matt Cox? I want to
yeah,
plug his
yeah.
channel. It's Matt Cox. Matt Cox, True Life Crime. So Matt, I've known him from the beginning. When I had more
Mhm.
subscribers than him at one time. He's got he's got like 700,000 subscribers. But I got a text. I invited him to come on tonight, but here's what he said. Let me tell you what he said. So here's what he said. So he says, I just got to my hotel and I don't have my laptop. Plus, I'm exhausted. I'm sorry, but I can't. I can't. I'm going to bed. And then I wrote him back. I said, no problem, Matt. Hey, I love you. The way you got a time to answer us little people. I told him because he's been on my show a few times, and I said, I watch all your shows all the time, and I said congratulations in so many subscribers. He's got like 700,000 subscribers now, and I said, dude, you hung in there. You put in the work. You deserve everything you're getting, man. I love you. And Matt, if you catch the show, Matt, and he'll be on my channel, I'm sure again. And it's guys like that. And this guy stole I don't know how many billions of dollars from people. He would do title deed theft. So like imagine you're a white collar, you're a white family. You've got a house in Florida, your second house. You're sitting there in the Hamptons, and the police come knocking on your door. We're here to take you away from your house because you have three mortgages and you've never paid any payments on the loans that you've gotten. You're like, excuse me, my house is paid for. What are you talking about? And they're all, well, you have three mortgages. You haven't paid a cent. Matt Cox is over there. He got all your money. Well, this guy has totally turned his life around. It's called Matt Cox True Crime, True Crimes. Check out his channel. This guy has done the work. Okay, I don't know if he's forgiven himself. I don't think he's forgiven himself, and I don't think God has forgiven himself. But he's working on it.
Cool,
So
man.
check
I'm
out
checking
his
out a few
channel,
times, man. Shoot,
Matt Cox.
man, I'm gonna get in here and see what these kids doing, man. Shoot, definitely, man. I'll shoot you a text. Let's get together this weekend, man, and put some more content out there.
I love it, man. I love it, man, because
Mhm.
I don't want to take up more of your time. It says that we've been on here for an
Cool.
hour and 21 minutes. Thomas, Thomas, I want to tell you from my heart, man. I
Thanks,
love
man. I
you, dude.
appreciate
I
it.
love you. And it's okay for men to say that now in prison. Check it out, guys. My father died when I was in prison, and guys were hugging me, and it's okay to cry. But if somebody steals your honey bun, no, motherfucker, you're getting
Uh,
fuck you, right? But if your dad dies or your wife dies, she leaves you, it's okay to cry
mm,
now in prison, guys. It's okay. And I was molested when I was 5 years old. And guys, there's a whole bunch of us. Half of the people I did time with were molested when they were kids. Okay, all right, and it's
mm,
some of them by women. Okay, so it's okay, guys. All right, the woke culture, whatever you want to call it, the me culture. It's okay now, guys. All right, it's okay to fucking say what happened to you when you were a kid. I just want to put that out there. That doesn't make us weak. That makes us stronger. My therapist for 10 years that the feds paid for to tell everybody you have been molested when you were 5 years old in kindergarten because it'll make you stronger. And I'm telling you, I was molested for a whole year in kindergarten, like at least once a week. Sometimes they picked another kid, but I'm
mhm.
stronger by telling you. If that happened to you, I'm just telling you, it makes you stronger. Get help. Call me 505 226 2117. You guys, my numbers. Anyways,
Mhm.
Thomas, I had to say that because men, it's our time. It's our time to
Most
speak.
definitely, man. Always impactful, always from the heart, man. If it's not that, man, we just kind of wasting our time. So, but yeah, man. Shoot, man. Let's get together this weekend. We'll plug something in and get some more content out there, man, and we'll get busy.
I love you, Thomas, and I'm gonna reboot this
Oh,
show
cool,
and
man.
like put
Definitely,
it
man.
as a
Put the
video.
information out there.
Also as a live, but Thomas, I love you, and there's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't even
Yeah,
cover. So yeah, this
most
weekend
definitely, man.
that
We'll
sounds
speak, man.
great to me, man. Thomas, I love you from the bottom of my heart, Thomas. Thank you for that first call. To pick up that phone and call
Mhm.
somebody like me, God bless you. And you've done the work. You've done the work. And you're gonna be in and out so fast. You're not even it's
Mhm.
gonna be blink of an eye. You're gonna be telling your grandkids this story and you're gonna be
Definitely,
laughing
man.
about it,
We'll
man.
get. We'll.
You know? You're gonna say you stole that candy bar? Dude, let me tell you, don't steal a second candy bar, because let me
Yeah,
tell you what happened to
definitely.
me. Ha ha ha.
Leave it there. If you
It's
can't,
gonna be
if you
like
can't
that.
afford to pay for it, or if you can't get it legally, get the hell away from it. It's always somebody watching. You think you get away until X amount of years later, they're like, "Hey, you remember this?" Vaguely. So
And you're already a better man, Thomas. I love you for the man that you've become, and I can't wait till you get out and tell me
most
the man
definitely,
that
man.
you are now.
We'll
And
get
you're
with you, man. Well, shit, man.
Thomas. You're doing so. Thomas, you worked so hard on yourself.
Thank you, man.
I
I
love
appreciate
you
it.
for that, Thomas.
Mhm.
God bless you, man.
Thank you, man. Well, shoot, we'll get
All
back.
right,
We'll get together this weekend, man. All right, thanks for having me
all
on.
right, man. Thank you, man.